Hey you guys, welcome back to another episode of World of Winter with your host, me, Wintertooth100, and of course Winter, living here in his beautiful igloo. He kind of stole the server from me, I think, a little bit. Might have to come fight ya. Yeah, I'll fight you for this house, in my house. But today, guys, we are starting off in the Holiday Land build-off place, and it's done. We did it. Everyone who wanted to participate has participated, or at least, well, everyone who wanted to participate who did it within the time frame has done so, and we are here to just very briefly look at all the builds. We're going to be leaving this place here forever, so if you want to come check this place out, well, you know how to get here. I've talked about it before in the past. But we have several builds. We have a collab here from Mila and Emma where they did this wonderful igloo, and of course I'm apparently living in it. We've updated the server to 1.15 and I no longer have a zooming mechanism. I just tried and it doesn't work because no Optifine. But we're in 1.15, which means we do have the bees, and today, guys, I want to go get the bees, and it's going to be hopefully fun, hopefully. But before we move on, let's very briefly just discuss some very minor things. I have updated the Vasten Winter Texture Pack, which is a recreation of A Little Taste of Vasten, which was made by Drimsy Boy, and it's been specifically created with a few minor tweaks to be for my server, the World of Winter, and it has been updated. You can see things like the tools down on the hotbar have a slightly more powerful glint to them, which I really like. I think it's kind of neat, makes them feel enchanted. But there are some broken things still that I've only noticed one thing actually, so keep your eyes out, guys. But the chests, look at the chests. You see this part of the chest right here? That is the inside of the chest. So when you open it and you exit out very briefly while the lid is still closing, this is the texture you would see on the inside. And if we pay attention to the chest, you see how it's solid? That is the top texture. So somehow those two textures got swapped around. I'm not sure exactly how, so I'll have to look into fixing that. But there is a link in the description down below, guys. You can get your hands on this 1.15 updated texture pack, and let me know in our Discord. Also a link in the description down below if you find any other things that need to be fixed, such as that. But we have Mila here who has created a goat, and I thought it was a reindeer, but it's a goat. And apparently, if you want to find out more about it, she's left some information about it, and apparently this is something that they do over in Sweden that occasionally also happens to be burnt down. But it's not going to get burnt down on this server because we don't have fire spread. So you can set it on fire, but it's not going nowhere. It'll stay there, just covered in flames. Next we have Lord Griefington, who was the first player on the server to get honey blocks. Believe it or not, he's the first one to go out and find bees, which I want to do today. And his build is fantastic. He has a full interior. There's like a little cupboard bedroom. There's also an upstairs to this thing. He has closets. Oh, he has stockings on the fireplace. This build is insane, and if you guys have not seen these builds, I suggest you come here and check them out. But for those of you not on the server, there is a link in the description. Join us on Patreon. It is my Patreon server. You could join us here and play and check it out for yourself. Over here, this was a really hard one to actually read, but this one is by Starlad, and it is supposed to be, well, you can see it there, Wandering Trading Oaken's Outpost, and Sauna. Apparently this is something from the movie Frozen, and I don't recognize it. I think I've only seen Frozen once, so there isn't much going on the inside, but there is. He does have the little pool of water. There's a little something in here. Moving on, we have Bella's boat ice rink, and you just grab some boats and you can go, on the ice. And if you've never done that before, then I suggest you try it out. But it's a blasty blast. And ignore the Christmas tree. I built that for all the peeps, and it does not count towards the little build competition that we're doing here. But finally, we have Bella's modern style house. There's a little bit of decoration here. We got a couch, we got the carpet, the Christmas tree. and there's even a bed upstairs. So there's some minor details to this thing. Not the most, but there's still something. So these are all the builds that have made it into the competition, and all of the prizes, the thing that you guys are probably waiting for most, are over here. And there originally were going to be 7 winners, but we only had 6 entries, so we took the 7th place away. But we have 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. There was a 7th. This thing was balanced. It did look good. Now it doesn't. And first place winner is definitely the best one. 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th were all the same. And so 4th, 5th, and 6th are still the same. So this is everything you'd win. Iron blocks, of course, because texture pack. Beacon, and a whole bunch of diamonds. And 4th and 5th place are the same. And this is exactly enough iron for a full beacon. So they should be set for that. 3rd place is just some more diamonds. You'll notice that the other ones only have 4 diamond blocks in total. This one has much more and extra diamonds on it. 2nd place, same thing, even more diamond blocks than previous. And it's 1st place that gets the best rewards of all. They get even more diamond blocks. Look at this, there's a stack of diamond blocks in here. It's insane. They get the full beacon, they get the extra diamonds, and an efficiency 6 book. Now this will still require you to have a haste 1 effect on you to get insta-mine, but that's fantastic. That means you can have a haste 1 beacon with regeneration and still have insta-mine. That is fantastic. And then of course the big one, fortune 4. That's right, you can get, what is it, 5 diamonds, 6 diamonds off of a single diamond ore now because of this. So if Lord Grievington decides to help us at the Merfolk Kingdom, he will be able to enchant those things on there. And yes, I did say it. Lord Grievington, congratulations! You are our 1st place winner. I have gone through here with Bella, and there we go. Lord Grievington, 1st place. I've gone through all the builds with Bella, and we each came up with a different list, top 6, and then I compared my list versus her list, and I averaged everything out the best I could, and we have all of our winners. So let me get all these names on. We'll go through them real quick. All right, in order, Lord Grievington, 1st place, congratulations. 2nd place, we have Mila. 3rd place, we have Emma. 4th and 5th place, we have Bella. And in 6th place, we have Starlad. And I will briefly go over my reasoning. Lord Grievington's build is the one with the honey blocks, and it is super amazing. The details on the inside, details on the outside, all the attention that he put into that place was fantastic. And also, he was the first one to go out and collect honey, and he did that specifically so he could use it for his build. So he ended up building that place very last minute because we just got updated to 115. So he waited for the update, went out and found the bees, got the honey blocks, then rushed over here to build that thing, put all of that detail into it in like the span of a day. That crazy, absolutely crazy. 2nd place we have Mila, and 3rd place we have Emma. So Mila and Emma did a collab on the igloo, which I thought was fantastic. I absolutely love that igloo, and Bella agreed with me. She thought that igloo was amazing. But since they both worked on it, there really wasn't a definitive order to put these two. But then Mila came back and built that. Apparently it's a goat. I thought it was a reindeer, but apparently it's a goat. So Mila built something else in a different plot unconnected. So I gave Mila a couple of extra bonus points for building something else, which is what boosted Mila to be 2nd place and Emma to be 3rd place. I hope that makes sense. I hope you guys understand. Bella and I were kind of at odds a little bit between 4th and 5th place. I personally liked her modern build more than the boat rink, but she liked her boat rink more than the modern build. But no matter how we averaged out our lists, these two always either came out to be 4th or 5th place. So therefore, I didn't specify which build was 4th and which build was 5th, because they're by the same person. And all of you guys could have come here and you could have built 10 builds all by yourself and possibly won all 7 things. But yeah, that's the way it worked out. And of course, we have Starlad. Unfortunately, somebody has to be in last place when we only have 6 entries. So the honor goes to Starlad. But guys, thank you for participating. And we're going to move on real quick. Now, I did mention that we are back to using the World of Winter texture pack. I did update it. So there's going to be some slight changes to the builds. I mean, technically, physically, nothing's changed. But they're going to look like they have changed a little bit. Ooh, see that ender chest? I bet you that's the inside of the ender chest. And honestly, I can't tell. I don't know what that texture is supposed to be. What does the bottom of this look like? I'm just going to move this real briefly. Oh, I have one on me. I didn't realize I had one on me. What's the bottom look like? Oh boy. I can't tell. I can't tell if that one's broken. But either way, there's going to be textures that are for sure not going to be 100% correct looking. Again, guys, if you download the texture pack, you can let me know in our Discord, and that'd be really helpful. But for the most part, a lot of things in this texture pack should seem fairly similar. I did notice something over here. It's right there. Right here. Somebody used one of these anvils. The reason you're not supposed to use the anvils, guys, is because the textures change. So that's so we're gonna replace it. But first, I noticed my shovel doesn't have a name. Ice Cube didn't have a name. I don't know why. There we go. 39 levels later, Ice Cube has a name. We're gonna replace this anvil again, guys. The decoration anvils, you should not use them because they have multiple textures based on their various states, and we kind of want to keep them as is. Yeah, just looking around real quick, you guys can see for yourselves. Get the texture pack. Things seem to be mostly fine. Double chest seem to be okay. Well, that's interesting. That yeah, look at that. Double chest is okay. What about shulker boxes? No, they seem fine. They seem fine. Look at this. This is the kind of anvil we need out over here. Honestly, but those are tougher to get a hold of because you have to continually use them. I fixed the horses. They'll probably break again in the future because the horse textures are always breaking. So we'll be updating those as they break. But just looking around real briefly, there's really nothing standing out to me apart from the single chests that look odd, right? The rest of these are looking pretty good. The dog, I don't know if I think he's got a white collar on. It's hard to tell, but it looks like these are all fine. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Our nether brick is back to being black. Oh, I miss this texture pack so much. Oh, it's nice. The 1.15 update has fixed our texture pack issues. I started using the Conquest Reforged because we were getting horrific lag spikes every few seconds whenever this texture pack was on. But now that we've updated to 1.15, we've had this texture pack on this entire episode so far, and you guys can clearly see that there's no problems with it. It actually seems to be working quite well. But I want to pop over real quick to the Merfolk Kingdom and our Zelda build site just to look at these things with this texture pack on, and that'll hopefully give you guys kind of an idea as well as to the differences between this texture pack and the other one. Alright, so we're gonna go to the Merfolk Kingdom first, and I've noticed that the banners are seemingly broken. We're supposed to be keeping those silly banners over here in this chest, and there is a bunch of them, but even in the small form they are seemingly broken. So that's interesting. Well, I'll take a look at that as well. But here we are, and I'm gonna look at this is because that doesn't feel right to me. I think whatever texture that is probably supposed to be on top, so I imagine those guys are flip-flopped around as well. But we'll take a brief look. I haven't made a video in quite some time because every time I log into the server, I spend anywhere from 2 hours to 12 hours here working on mining this place out. And it feels like Mila's been here because there's so many blocks just randomly out of the floor missing. But we've been going around and flattening everything within our perimeter down to Y level 63 so we can create the inner wall, I guess, of the mountain. And it's a huge area that all still needs to be flattened down. So this project, I've been working on it for weeks just getting it flattened, it feels like, and we are still quite a ways off from succeeding at getting it just to the next point. So that's why we haven't been doing episodes recently, because like I said, every time I log in, I just come here and I just start working on this, because this is the next big project, and I really want this project to be completed as soon as possible. But you can see how much work has gone into this. We've had several people helping out. Everyone who comes here to help me with this, and again, not just one time for 5 minutes, right? Like if you actually come here and you spend a good chunk of time and you clear out a big area with us, like you genuinely help with this area, you guys will get to keep not one of these tools, but either a pickaxe, an axe, or a shovel with Unbreakable. You'll notice that they all have Unbreakable at the bottom. So if you come out here and you actually genuinely help us, you will get to keep one of your choices of one of those tools with Unbreakable, a tool that never can break. The only way you can lose it, since we have keep inventory on, the only way you can lose it is if you put it in a chest and forget about it, or you throw it on the ground and let it despawn, or you throw it in a fire. Like, you have to purposefully destroy it to lose it. So come help, guys. Come help. Oh my goodness, we need so much help here, and yeah, the reward is a tool that never breaks. Come on, come help us. Okay, so I cut out the bit about the Zelda land. It was taking way too much time. I got distracted with it. It looked really cool. You guys should go check it out if you're on the server. Slap on the texture pack. Go check out the Zelda place for yourself. The command block to teleport you there is just next to the staircase right there on the right hand side. The command block's right there. Just teleport over there and look at it for yourself. Looks pretty cool. But guys, if you've made it this far into the video and you haven't done so yet already, please consider subscribing and leaving a like on the video and sharing it, all that fun stuff. If you want to play on the server, get your hands on our texture pack, all that fun stuff as well, there is a link in the description down below for our Patreon. I have recently repriced everything, so it is way cheaper to get your Minecraft self onto the server. And additionally, there's going to be some further changes to the Patreon. I'm going to be looking into some pretty neat plugins for the server that are going to be quite the boon, if I do say so myself. Have you heard of that /fly command? Yeah, think stuff like that. Maybe you want to do some kind of plot protection. Maybe I don't know. I'm still looking at a bunch of stuff. I'm looking to add a whole bunch of new plugins to radically change your Minecraft experience here on the World of Winter, to not only make the Northern Project builds a little bit more bearable, but just to make your general Minecraft life just so much more interesting. And I'm very excited for it. If you guys are interested in that, all that information is down in the description down below. Please check it out. And now let's go find us some bees. So I am actively looking someplace southwest of where my base is in uncharted territory. And every time I come across a ship, I go down and I find a map, because we are looking for these Hearts of the Sea. But somebody else who is playing in 1.15 should let me know if you are having the same experience. It's not just my texture pack, because I've taken it off and I've tried other texture packs, but as we come down here, it gets obnoxiously dark. Like, I cannot see anything. Like, I'm actually having to come through here and place down a torch just to get a brief glimpse of light to see. It actually becomes really, really dark. I cannot see anything in caves without torches. I can't see anything underwater without torches. It is that dark. It is crazy. So let me know if you guys are experiencing that same kind of darkness. Oh my goodness, that took forever. I'm like 10,000 blocks away or something. Yeah, 10,865. I'm a long ways away. We finally found it. Now, I found a bunch of other stuff as well, and I also collected this bell to show you that the bells are also broken. They move, but because they have like a default position, it's getting some Z box fighting and something like that, and so that needs to be fixed as well. But I did discover that the bell needs to be fixed. Now, if we take this campfire I believe these bees will stay perfectly friendly. But if we take this campfire and we put it underneath, then we can harvest this with our axe, which has silk touch, without any problems. But if we wait until it's nighttime, all of the bees, and I see 3 of them, should return to this nest, and then when we harvest it, we should get an achievement. Well, it's definitely nighttime, and they're still kind of just floating around. I've been keeping an eye on them. No, these 2 over here disappeared. I don't know where they went. I was literally just looking at them. Don't tell me that this one despawned. Okay, we still got this guy. Because they're just now fresh. There's one. Just because they're freshly generated in, they might be needing to pollinate first. That one's pollinated. You can see by his butt. He's very pollinated. They might need to all pollinate before they return to the beehive. I removed the campfire in case that was an obstructing factor, but they all seem to just be wanting to float around. I kind of want there to actually be bees in this thing, because I don't think simply moving a beehive is enough to get a bee farm going. I think you actually need the bees inside of it. So I'm gonna be walking around here for a while, I suppose, hoping to see if I can catch the bees returning home. Alright, well, I lost the 3rd one, but I've lured one already back to the nest, and now I'm luring the 2nd one, and I'm going to attempt to breed them, and then in that way hopefully we'll have 3 bees sitting in the nest so I can harvest it to see if we get an achievement. I believe that's what I read on the wiki, was that it had to be a full bee's nest, and well, that means 3 of them, again, according to the wiki. So look how cute he is. Look how cute he is. He's looking. They lose their bee's nest apparently fairly easily, because this guy, they just started wandering off, and then I mean, look how far away that guy was. He was way over there trying to find it. Oh no. And now this guy's out. And now this guy's out. Can we get them together though? Oop. There we go. Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. There we go. Now, can we get them all to go back into the bee's nest? Oh no, they're all gonna take off. Don't take off. Go back into the nest. And into the nest. They're not gonna go into the nest, are they? Because they have to do their thing and get pollen butts. They gotta get pollen butts. Oh, this is gonna be tedious. Oh, here we go. Here we go. They all just went in. Oop, we got it though. Total bee location. I burnt myself, but we got it. What does it say? Move a bee's nest with 3 bees inside using silk touch. Nailed it. Oh yeah. Okay, cool. So now that we got these guys, put that back. We can go home and we can set up our own little bee farm. If there's 3 bees in here, which there are, then we can just breed them up and get more of them. Though I'm gonna do a little bit more research. We may need to find a couple of more so we can start making other beehives instead of this natural bee's nest. I want to make beehives, so I'm gonna figure that out. But I think we're set here. Let's go build a home for them. Okay, so we're in my test world real quick because I wanted to make a bee farm that was fully automatable, and I've gotten as close as I think I can get, and it's tileable, which is what makes this farm so fantastic. The fact that it's purely tileable. The only thing I could not successfully get to work is a automatic refill mechanism for the glass bottles that go in the dispensers. They're easy enough. If you just put a stair down like so here, you can literally just walk up to these. Even with beehives on top, you can still just reach these and then fill them in yourself. So it's very close, and it works well enough, and I want to run through it real quick with you. So here we have our dispensers, and we are using a comparator to pull a signal out of a beehive. The signal will be branched up through the redstone dust into the repeater, pushing the piston down, completing this line, and powering this block, which activates the dispenser, which has a bottle in it. So we'll grab a honey bottle, and then using a basic item filter system, we've created a sort of lock here so these hoppers won't pull out the empty bottles, but as soon as there's a honey bottle in there, it will activate the system and allow honey bottles to be pulled through. So you can actually filter your honey bottles out of here without pulling out the empty bottles. And this thing has to be this size, so the signal from a stage 5 beehive will be the only thing powerful enough to trigger the mechanism. If it's any shorter than this, then a stage 4, stage 3, stage 2 beehive will trigger the system, but there's no honey in the beehive during those stages, so it will spit out an empty bottle and it'll just sit up here and despawn. And we don't want that, so it has to be this length to successfully work every single time. And I have a stage 5 beehive right here with me right now. You can see we have 63 bottles in here, and there's 9 honey bottles down here. And if we just place this right here, you see all the animations happen. We can break that out here because we don't need it anymore. And then in here we should have 62 bottles, yes, and we should have 10. Yes, we do. So it's fully tileable if you want to use repeaters all along the bottom. The top section is perfectly fine without repeaters, except for going into the pistons, of course, because a stage 5 beehive will only power these 5 redstone, but this redstone is not powerful enough to power this redstone, so that line will not get activated by a stage 5 being here. But because this redstone is directly touching the repeater will pull the signal out and activate this line. So it does need to be this length up here. And then down here, if this was all redstone dust with repeaters on the end, effectively what would happen is this one block would come down, complete this circuit, and this would be enough power right here to, if it was all redstone dust, it would just power all of it. As far as the 15 power redstone dust line thing could go. We don't want that, so we're using repeaters down there. However, you can save a ton of materials by simply just leaving one block of space in between them. You can use redstone at the top, and then you can use redstone at the bottom, and that is 6 redstone dust instead of 6 repeaters along the bottom. So you do save a ton of materials on that front, and this line works exactly the same. You see we got 35 empty bottles. Place that down. Be sure to not have honey bottles in there because they can sometimes dispense out, which is why we got a filter system. But here we go. There you go. And then it pulls it out. 35 down to 34. My bad. Then down here, it's just a normal item filter, and you could just run these along, and then you can have these hoppers running out to a collection area. And yeah, this place can pretty much be fully automized. You just place your beehives all along wherever you have one of these lines set up. And then grass directly outside of these guys with flowers on top. So your bees, when they come out of the beehive, are already collecting pollen, and they're close to their beehive, so they can just return home fairly quickly. So let's hop back onto the world of winter. I've done some building over there already because I tried to record this clip over there, and it was obnoxiously long, so I just thought I would just re-record it. So don't be surprised when we go over there and there's a ton already built. As I mentioned towards the beginning of today's video, Lord Griefington was one of the first people, in fact he was the first person on this server to go out and find bees, and he has a bee farm already. So from his bee farm I was able to get some honeycombs and craft up my own beehive as a reference. Also we're going to need a bunch of these, but I decided to build this. Like I said, I did a little bit of building off camera because I talk too much and tried to build a giant beehive to house our bee farm, and I think it looks alright. I think it could be better, but it's okay. We'll hop in real quick and take a look at it. I got this place filled with flowers, and I opted to go for, instead of being perfectly tileable, I decided to save on materials and just go with redstone. And yeah, this is the way we're gonna do it. I have the filters set up downstairs. These guys are all ready to go. The only thing we're missing is the honey bottles to complete the filter. So we're going to set up some of these beehives, put some campfires under them, and manually shear these guys to get more honeycombs until we can get enough of the beehives, and then honey bottles to put the filters in. And then, in theory, all we have to do is breed the bees, and then this place should be fully automatable. And because there's so much space in here, this could be stackable. We could even stack this. We could build another one of these up top and have another floor of bees going, and just run the hoppers straight down and into the same collection area. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. I don't anticipate there's gonna be a whole lot left that's interesting, so I'm just gonna call it right here, guys. We're already past the 30-minute mark, I'm sure. So thank you guys so much for watching, hanging out with me. I know it was a very long episode. Be sure to check out all the links in the description down below. We have the Patreon for those who want to join. We have Discord for those who just want to hang out and talk with us. You know, all the fun stuff. Don't forget to subscribe, like, all the, you know, the things that YouTube people are supposed to ask, apparently, I guess. So, yeah, that's gonna be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you liked, subscribe if you haven't, share with your friends, hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next one.